stars are right, and that means it's time for another episode of The Whisper in Darkness. I'm your host, the Man from Lang. Thank you very much for joining me today. On this episode, we are reviewing the Seeker cards in Into Deep, the first Mythos pack in the Innsmouth Conspiracy cycle. There are spoilers throughout if you care about that sort of thing. If you enjoy what you hear, remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Before we get started, a quick reminder about the rating system. We award cards an Elder Sign for the best of the best and a Tentacle for the worst of the worst, with a +1, 0, and Elder thing for all the cards in between. I'd like to thank the patrons of this channel for their tremendous support. The Arkham Horror LCG community is amazing, and these people have gone above and beyond to bring you content like these player card reviews. If you'd like to support the channel's goals and see your name up on this list, head over to patreon.com, sign up for a tier of your choice, and claim your rewards. That would be awesome. Without further ado, let's get started. The first Seeker card in the pack is Eldritch Sophist. It is a 4-cost asset with a willpower skill icon, the ally, and Miskatonic traits. It has uses 3 secrets and the free triggered ability Exhaust Eldritch Sophist. Move 1 secret or charge from an asset you control to another asset controlled by an investigator at your location. He has 1 health and 3 sanity, and he takes up an ally slot. This card was spoiled by the preview article, so he's been a known quantity for a while, and I quite like him.
Yeah, you would, because you like to play with an Necronomicon, so I can totally see why you would like this card. I mean, aside from that, it's a little expensive, but I think you get so much value out of his ability that you're not going to mind paying 4 resources for it.
Agreed. Yeah, he is a tad expensive at 4 resources, and I think when his buddy Mr. Rook hit the list of taboos, I think a lot of people imagined moving the secrets from this guy to Mr. Rook and getting even more, being able to abuse Mr. Rook even more than they already were. But now most of the Seeker cards are either Seeker or Mystic cards, and the moving charges around is interesting. But again, that's only something you're going to do if you're playing a Mystic. And so while it's helpful, I'm not entirely sure how often you're going to be doing that, but it could come in handy if you have, like, say you're Shriveling and a Mists of Rillier on the table, and you need 1 token and not the other. You can move them around with this guy. That's pretty helpful, and his ability is a free triggered ability, which is awesome. And he works with a lot of the untranslated assets as well, or at least they're upgraded versions, so you can, if you need more secrets for your ancient stones and whatnot, this guy's pretty solid.
Yeah, one thing I'd thought about too, potentially using the Mystic card pool, was taking something like Forbidden Knowledge and using that as basically like a conduit for your other spells, because you can just take all the charges off the Forbidden Knowledge and put them on your spells with him. Yeah, I mean, this is a sweet card. This type of ability to move counters from one card to another has existed in multiple card games at this point, and it usually ends up being pretty good. And I think in Arkham's case, that is true as well. So
yeah, he's a little bit vulnerable to cards that deal direct damage to allies, but fortunately those don't appear in many scenarios. But that 3 sanity is awfully nice to have in your back pocket when you. One of the cards actually this guy works well with is Diana Esperance from the Mystic card pool. You can move secrets from this guy to her, and then you're basically getting free plays of events, which is pretty good.
There's a lot of things you can do with this card. He's also Miskatonic traded, which is nice for the recent Harvey card.
The Miskatonic archaeology funding.
Yep. So
yeah, there's quite a bit you could do with this guy. Like with Diana, you could play, you stack a Ward of Protection on her, and then you're getting 3 extra Ward of Protections per game, in addition to the secrets she already has on her. That's pretty sweet. You need Charisma, of course, to pull that sort of thing off, but Charisma is usually is one of the first upgrades in a lot of decks. So especially if you're going to be playing uh, playing a lot of allies like this guy. And of course, you can also the Miskatonic Archaeology funding gives you 2 extra ally slots, so you can, between that and a charisma, you could have a ton of allies on the table and be pulling off lots of tricks. And this card is one of those that only gets better with time, as we see more cards that use secrets and charges. This guy's value will just keep getting better and better.
Yep, absolutely.
I would go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say he's also good with calling in favors, too, which is just another great card in the Seeker card pool specifically, I think.
Yeah. I'm going to rate this guy a +1.
Ooh, I'm surprised he went that low. I was going to give him an Elder Sign.
Yeah, I tend to think of an Elder Sign as more like I'm going to play him in every deck, and I'm not too sure that he quite makes the cut there. I think compared to some of the other Seeker allies that are available, I'm not sure this is unless I'm using a lot of secrets, then I'm not going to necessarily reach for this guy. But I think he's still very good in those sorts of decks.
Mm-hmm.
What would you rate him? Oh yeah, you were saying Elder Sign.
Yeah, I think he's going to be, like you said, I think he's just one of those cards that gets better with time, and the more cards that we see with secrets and charges, this is just going to be a card I think people splash for specifically.
Yeah, he could be, I know that Tetsuo Mori from the Guardian card pool sees a lot of play in various Guardian decks. Maybe this guy will be something similar for Seekers, because he does tap into all of that secret tech that they have.
Mm-hmm.
And Seeker Mystics, of course. That's the other, I think, where you'll see him.
Yeah, Luke in the gate box.
Yeah. Oh, that's true. Does that use secrets?
Uses charges.
Charges. Well, I mean, an extra gate box charge could be the difference between life and death. So that's definitely a valuable, play. Yeah, this guy's very, very good. The second Seeker card in the pack is Stirring Up Trouble. It is a free event that costs 1 experience point. It has combat and intellect skill icons, the insight and curse traits. As an additional cost to play Stirring Up Trouble, add a curse tokens to the chaos bag equal to your location's shroud value. And it has discover 2 clues at your location. I believe this one was spoiled by the Mythos Busters, Nate.
Yeah, I believe that's correct. What do you think about this card?
I think this is really good. Discovering 2 clues for free without making a skill test is going to be very, very strong, especially in multiplayer. But also there are the occasional those locations in solo that have 2 clues per investigator, and this snaps them up. It's one of only a few ways that will add a significant number of curse tokens to the chaos bag. I'm thinking locations like Miskatonic University and stuff like that. Usually those locations that have multiple clues on them also have very high shroud values, and this will let you dump them in, dump a ton of curse tokens into the bag. And then if you happen to play this toward the end of the game, in a scenario like, I guess you can't play it in the first scenario of the Forgotten Age, where you just need to discover clues at the end. But there are lots of scenarios where you just need to grab those couple clues at the end before you can either resign or end the game. And if you can play this, then it doesn't matter how many curse tokens you add to the bag, you're not going to draw them because the game is going to be over.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think?
Yeah. Oh, I totally agree with you that this card is very, very good. Like we've been saying in the last review, adding curse tokens is definitely not usually equal to the reward that you get for adding them, and then turning curse tokens into an actual benefit just like completely, I think, tips the balance of this card on its head. Another thing interesting about this card is that it's also very good when you scale up in difficulty as well. because I would assume that the types of decks that you build for hard and expert mode, you're not going to be peering into the bag that much anyway. So a card like this is just super good, I would imagine, in expert and hard as well.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, being able to discover clues without taking a skill test is the bread and butter of those types of decks, and this just feeds into that. And I think this card is a lot like Deep Knowledge and Faustian Bargain that we saw in the Innsmouth Conspiracy Deluxe expansion. I mean, they've tacked this, add curse tokens to the bag onto a card and trying to balance it. But I think this one again is just going to be very, very good, even if you have to add. Even if you're at a low shroud location and you have to add a couple curse tokens, it's just like, I'll just snap these clues up and move on. So
what would you rate this card?
I would give this one an Elder Sign. I think this is very strong for what you have to pay for it anyway.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. I'd give it an Elder Sign too. I just haven't seen much of a reason to not add curse tokens to the bag. Like, even if you draw them, drawing multiples is usually good because you're going to fail those tests anyway. And you know, if you're only adding a couple, you may never see them. So
yeah, it is interesting that this one costs 1 experience point, while Deep Knowledge and Faustian Bargain are free. So, or don't cost XP, that is. So maybe the designers recognized that the power of this card needed to be reined in a tad.
I definitely think that they did. Yeah, absolutely.
So you can't start a campaign with this, but for 1 XP to have a card that will grab you 2 clues without a skill test is very, very nice. I guess the only downside is it's not fast like Working a Hunch, but Working a Hunch also costs 2 resources. So not that resources are a big issue for Seekers most of the time. That's going to do it for our look at the Seeker cards in Too Deep. What do you think of how did the Seekers do in this pack, Nate?
Man, the Seekers make out like bandits in this pack. They get some excellent cards.
Yeah. The designers were during the last update to the list of taboos. The designers attempted to rein in the Seekers a little bit, hitting them with the Nerf bat many times, and then they the very next pack that's revealed, they get another 2 excellent cards to add to their to the card pool. Eldritch Sophist makes a great addition to Seekers that are using a lot of cards that use secrets, and the Seeker off-class Mystics, while Stirring Up Trouble is just solid. I mean, discovering clues is the name of the game, so doing it for free at the cost of a couple curse tokens is definitely worthwhile. That's going to do it for this episode. If you enjoy what you hear, remember to like, comment, and subscribe. If you need to contact me, I can be reached at manfromlang@gmail.com. I am also on Twitter at manfromlang. Until the stars are right, keep your shotgun close and your Elder Sign closer. Take care out there, and happy investigating.